Hi y'all, this is So Blessed. Welcome to the Blessed Place. How y'all doing? We're up close and personal tonight because as you can hear, my washing machine is making noise in the background, so I'm hoping that you all can hear me. It is about 4:30 a.m. on Sunday morning and I need to be in bed. I have to get my daughter to the airport in 5 hours and I have church in 7 hours. But as I was just kind of closing out to head to bed, I saw a video from Grace, whose channel name is Zoe Abina 08. I think I'm pronouncing that right. But Grace sent me a video and asked me to respond to it, and the question was, should I apologize? And in her video, she mentioned that she's a woman of God and she was having a party. And she had people at the party who, not everybody was saved. Some were saved, some were not saved. But there was drinking at the party. There was some people smoking at the party. There was music at the party. And there was another friend, a mutual friend of everybody at the party. There was a mutual friend who came to the part, or who was invited. I think she was invited, but she was warned from the beginning because this other lady is saved, but she doesn't smoke, she doesn't drink, and I guess she doesn't agree with, secular music. And she was warned beforehand that this was going to be going on at the party. And she said that she just wanted to stop by, speak to everybody, and get a plate, and she would be on her little merry way. Well, it turns out that she did not just stop by real quick for a plate. She came and started to maybe reprimand people at the party, kind of saying that they were wrong for their smoking and their drinking and their secular music, and that they were all doomed to hell. And as Grace said, she proceeded to have church and Bible study at this party. And Grace and a few of her other friends, converged in the kitchen, and they made an agreement, a determination that this friend needed to go because she was making everybody feel uncomfortable or guilty or frustrating everybody. So they asked her to leave, and she left, but she later called around everybody and told everybody how they did her wrong and they were all doomed to hell. Well, Grace is asking me, should she apologize? And her belief is that she should not apologize. Well, Grace, I 110% wholeheartedly agree with you. Now, we may be in the minority, but I do agree with you. And I will explain why. Because, first of all, this was your party, and you decide what kind of party you want to have. Secondly, you forewarned this friend what was going to be taking place at this party, and she decided that she wanted to come anyway. And thirdly, she was in the wrong. Woman of God or not, she was in the wrong to come to the party and start admonishing people for drinking, smoking, playing their music. Because people are at different levels in their spiritual walk. And I'm not saying that I advocate those things. But what I am saying is we all are at different levels in our spiritual walk. And if I'm a woman of God or a man of God and drinking, and I don't mean to an excess or being drunk, but just social drinking does not condemn me, then that's between me and the God that I serve. And it is not for someone to come to my party or come to my dinner table and tell me that I should not be drinking something. And I will tell you, even personally, my husband is a pastor. Hence, I would be a pastor's wife, right? And we were going to have a party, and my husband had suggested these two different couples, and we were just kind of going over our list of who we wanted to come to the party. And two of the people that we had thrown out the name, he threw the name out at me, and I said, no, I don't want them at my party. And he quickly agreed, and he knew when he threw the names out that I was going to say I didn't want them at the party. And he asked me why, and he knew why, but he just wanted to hear it, because I said I don't want them coming to our party to have church and making other people feel uncomfortable, because we were not going to serve drinks, but we're going to have, as a matter of fact, I think we were talking about our 5th wedding anniversary, which will be April of 2010. We want to have a big shindig, and we're going to party like it's 1999. We just won't have the alcohol, because my husband and I met in the 80s. So we want to go back to the 80s, and we want to have a slamming DJ with 80s music. Well, I'm warning people beforehand, because quite a few people that we socialize with are saved. And we're warning people from the beginning, if our secular music bothers you, please don't come. Even my parents. I would love for my parents to come and have an awesome time, but I would warn them that if our partying like it's 1999 is going to offend you, please don't come. I grew up thinking that holiness meant wearing your shirts up to here and your dresses down to there, and not wearing makeup, and not wearing earrings, and not wearing polish, and not wearing ankle bracelets, and not wearing too much jewelry, and not wearing pants. And that's what we were taught the holiness was. But when I became more mature in age and more mature in Christ Jesus, I understood that all of that has nothing to do with holiness. Yes, we should be modest in all things, but all of that has nothing to do with holiness. Okay, Grace, I have gone off on a tangent because I love this this question that you asked. But the last thing I want to say is, you mentioned that you were not going to take your video down like you had done so many times in the past, where you would make a video, you would maybe feel bad about something you said, or maybe you would allow someone to comment, a mean-spirited comment, make you feel bad about what you said, and you would take your video down. And I was very glad to hear you say that you were not going to remove this video. First of all, it was a very good video and I really enjoyed it. But yeah, don't let mean-spirited people or haters, or maybe sometimes it's people who are not haters, but they just have a very strong opinion, and they think that you're wrong because you don't share the same opinion. You know, that's one thing that I have learned about YouTube, is that we have a very opinionated society, and not just opinionated, but people who will condemn you because your opinion is not the same as theirs. Girl, this is your channel, and you have your opinion, and you have the right to express your opinion. And anybody who does not want to hear your opinion, just like you can change the channel on a remote control, you can press the X. Alright? Thank you for asking me. I feel so honored and privileged that you asked me to do a video response. And thank you for being a new subscriber. Thank you for watching over 200 or something of my videos. I know there's a lot to catch up, a lot of me talking, a lot of opinions, a lot of advice, and I really appreciate it. I really, really, really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. So I hope that answered your question. The primary answer is no. You should not apologize. You have nothing to apologize for. You did not invite her to church nor Bible study. You invited her to a party, and you gave her plenty of warning of what kind of party you were having. Alright? Y'all be blessed.